Good afternoon. So let's start. And today we'll start the new chapter. Yesterday I told you that we'll talk about the Buddha and Jnana. This is the biggest philosophy that will change the course of your mindset. Whenever world need it, Buddha will come. And that is the time also when Buddha came, 6th century BC. So post-Vedic period, you can give the heading post-Vedic period. Post-Vedic period. This period is marked by age of Mahajanpad. Age of Mahajanpad. Mahajanpad. Means you understand the meaning of Mahajanpad? In Rig Vedic period, we have Jan. In later Vedic period, we have Janpad. And post-Vedic period, we have Mahajanpad. Mahajanpad. So Janpad means territory. Jan means people. So king was ruling over people. Then we have the king started ruling over the territory. And here we have the bigger territory. Here we have the bigger territory. So Mahajanpad period is marked by bigger territory. Mahajanpad, that is the bigger one. So bigger territory is there. So Jan to Janpad to Mahajanpad. This is how you define the arguments of the post-Vedic period. So in post-Vedic period, first thing that we see, this is the age of Mahajanpad. There were 16 Mahajanpad in the post-Vedic period. 16 Mahajanpad in post-Vedic period. So entire India, the political configuration was around 16 Mahajanpad. What is the political configuration? That was India was divided in 16 Mahajanpad. Second, we have the rise of second urbanization. Second urbanization, this is urbanization of Gangetic Valley. This is urbanization of Gangetic Valley. Second urbanization. Third urbanization, that is age of Buddha and Jnana. Age of Buddha and Jnana. Third urbanization, this is age of Buddha and Jnana. So when you talk about the second urbanization, what is first urbanization? The first urbanization, that is urbanization of Gangetic Valley. Urbanization of Gangetic Valley. In the Indus Valley region, here is the first urbanization, Indus Valley civilization. And second urbanization, urbanization of Gangetic Valley. This is second urbanization. So first is Indus Valley, second is the Gangetic Valley. So Indus Valley civilization, it had started around 2350 BC. We have studied, and then it lasted around 1750 BC. And second urbanization, which is more intense, more evolved, it had started around 600 BC. 600 BC. 600 BC. So in 600 BC, we have age of Mahajanpad. Age of Mahajanpad, that is a bigger Indian territory. Then we have the second urbanization, and third is the biggest and the greatest one, that is age of Buddha and Jaina. Age of Buddha and Jaina. So this is a new social philosophy. This is new social philosophy. Age of Buddha and Jaina is a new social philosophy. This is new social philosophy. Age of Buddha and Jaina. So first we see that what is Buddhism and Jainism. First we will see Buddhism. Buddhism. You understand that whenever there is a one philosophy, there is a counter philosophy. You think in a different ways, maybe your thought will be opposed by some others. So therefore, when Brahmanism was getting very prominent, then there was opposition to Brahmanism also becoming prominent. And that opposition is called heterodox sect, right? Gnostic. Those who do not believe in Brahminical orthodoxy, they are called Gnostic. So Buddha, Jaina, these are called the Gnostic religion. So therefore, Buddhism and Jainism, there was a rise of heterodox. Heterodox sects. We call them as a Gnostic. Because it opposed the Brahminical ideas. It opposed Brahminical ideas. It opposed the Brahminical ideas. So this is called Gnostic religion because it opposed the Brahminical ideas. It opposed Brahminical ideas. Gnostic religion. So, Buddhism criticized animal sacrifice. Basic thing. Brahmanism advocated animal sacrifice, Buddhists criticized animal sacrifice. Buddhism opposed a rigid form of Varna system. Buddhism opposed rigid form of Varna system. Buddhism opposed rigid form of Varna system. Rigid form of Varna system. Buddhism opposed rituals. Buddhism opposed rituals. Opposed rituals. So these are the things which was very much, these are the things which is very much there in the Buddhism. So when Brahmanical religion is there, Brahmanical philosophy is there, parallel to that there was a Buddhist philosophy. Right? So it's not like that Buddhism born in 600 BC. There were Buddhism before 600 BC also. Gautam Buddha was not first Buddha. There were many Buddha before Gautam Buddha. First clear this concept. Right? So Gautam Buddha was not founder. Gautam Buddha was real founder. So first understand this concept. Right? So therefore Buddhism. Gautam Buddha is not founder, but Gautam Buddha is real founder. So criticized animal sacrifice. Opposed rigid form of Varna system. Opposed rituals. This is how the Buddhism was opposing the Brahmanical system. Opposing the Brahmanical system. Okay. So Buddhism was opposing the Brahmanical system. So Gautam Buddha was not founder, but Gautam Buddha was real founder. Gautam Buddha is real founder. So how 600 BC that there was a huge rise in the Buddhism suddenly. Let me talk about the causes for the rise of Buddhism in 600 BC. I told you, Buddhism was there, the philosophy of Buddhism was there much before Gautam Buddha. But during the time of Gautam Buddha or the 600 BC, suddenly there was a huge support of the people to the Buddhism. So we are talking about the rise of Buddhism. What factors, what causes that led to the rise of Buddhism? Causes that led to the rise of Buddhism. Let's talk about the causes that led to the rise of Buddhism. First factor is Kshatriya. Kshatriya challenged Brahmanas. Kshatriya challenged Brahmanas. First factor. You know, Varna system became rigid. Brahman came on the top of the hierarchy. So, Brahman, then Kshatriya, then Vaishya, then Shudra. But Kshatriya said that why don't you write Kshatriya, Brahman, Vaishya and Shudra? That was the main demand of the Kshatriyas. That was the main demand of the Kshatriyas. Okay, so Brahmanas having the upper status and Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra was not having the status in the hierarchy. So Kshatriya demanded that there should be higher status in the Varna system. Brahmana said that we have composed Vedas. Kshatriya said we have composed Upanishad, philosophy, no less. And that is the reason why when the Varna system was rigid, Kshatriya left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. Why? Because Buddhism was opposing the rigid form of Varna system. I hope you understand this point. Right, one, Brahmanas claimed superiority because Brahmana composed Vedas. And Kshatriya composed Upanishad. Brahmanas claimed upper status in the Varna hierarchy. Upper status in the Varna hierarchy. Right? However, Kshatriya challenged Brahmanas. Therefore, Kshatriya left Brahmanism. And challenged Buddhism and supported Buddhism. Kshatriya left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. So all of you are okay? Is it correct? Can you write the spell correctly whatever I am dictating? Hopefully, because I am dictating too slow, I am writing also. So catch the word and then start writing. So that would be much better for you. So Kshatriya left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. Kshatriya left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. Okay, fine. So second, a position of Vaishya. A position of Vaishya. A position of Vaishya. Vaishya was economically very affluent, but their social status was very low. Vaishya asked Brahmins, "Sir, can we get some upgradation in the Varna system by give and take?" Brahmanas said give and take will continue, but we will remain in the third slot. There is no point. Varna system became rigid. So Vaishya also left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. लेना देना ठीक है, चलेगा, give and take. But Vaishya was economically very affluent. Vaishya was economically very affluent. But their social status was very low. Their social status was very low. So therefore, Vaishya was economically very affluent, but their social status was very low. In Brahminical system, their social status was very low, so left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. Supported Buddhism. Left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. Their social status was very low, so left Brahmanism and supported Buddhism. Third, elaborate rituals. Elaborate rituals. There was complexities in the ritualistic system. There was complexities in the ritual system. Brahmanas had imposed so many rituals. 16 sanskars, 8 marriage practices, daily 5 yajna, and each and every time you have to give dana and dakshina to the Brahmanas. So therefore the common people was very fed up. What I said that, so common people was very fed up with. So what I said that Brahmanas imposed so many rituals. Is it okay to all of you? Do you understand the causes of the second and third causes? Third cause, I am saying that the Brahmanas imposed many rituals. Brahmanas demanded dana and dakshina. Brahmanas expected dana and dakshina. So mostly peoples were fed up of all these development. Peoples were fed up of all this development, all these ritualistic practices. So therefore supported Buddhism because Buddhism opposed animal sacrifice. Supported Buddhism, so because Buddhism opposed rituals. Buddhism opposed rituals. Okay, fourth factor. Animal sacrifice. Animal sacrifice. Animal sacrifice. Brahmanism advocated animal sacrifice. This was a part of their ritual. But the peasant community, they need animals. They need buffalo. They need ox. They need bull in order to carry the agriculture. So obviously the animal sacrifice was against the spirit of that animal thing. So animal sacrifice was against the spirit of agriculture. Brahmanism advocated animal sacrifice because it was part of the ritual. Because it was part of the ritual. It was part of the ritual. but peasant community opposed animal sacrifice. Peasant community opposed animal sacrifice because they need animal for agriculture. They need animal for agriculture. Therefore, peasant community supported Buddhism. Peasant community had supported Buddhism. Peasant community had supported Buddhism. So main thing is that everything had changed because tribal mode of economy had converted into agricultural mode of economy. Tribal mode of economy had converted into agricultural mode of economy. Fourth factor is tribal mode of economy converted into agrarian mode of economy. Sixth point. Charismatic personality of Gautam Buddha. Charismatic personality of Gautam Buddha. Buddha was a great organizer. Buddha was a great organizer. So charismatic personality of Gautam Buddha means that the Buddha was a great organizer. He organized the lifestyle of the people that prompted the development of such that we call the organization of Dhamma. So charismatic personality of Gautam Buddha. Buddha used the common man's language, that is Pali, which was usually spoken by the common man, easily understandable by the common man. So therefore, instead of Sanskrit, he used the Pali. This is the formula, that is, we can say that this is a way that how Buddhism becomes so popular in the 600 BC. So no doubt in this that Buddha had played a very significant role in the popularization of the Buddhism. Buddha had played a very significant role in popularization of Buddhism. So suddenly there was a massive swing of the support base from Brahmanism to Buddhism. This is a massive swing in the support base from Brahmanism to Buddhism. Right? Let's go back to our main theme. Let's bring Gautam Buddha in picture and what actually Buddha did in real sense. So what I said, Buddhism was already there when there was a Brahmanism. Listen carefully, no power on earth can determine the age of any religion, origin of any religion. Only this is the futile thing to discuss. When any religion born is the most futile thing. But the origin of the relevance of religion is very important thing. So therefore, when Brahmanism was there, when Buddhism was there, this is nothing to talk. This is nothing to talk about. So only thing is that we need to have a feature which is a very broad-based feature. So Brahmanical feature. So no power on earth can determine the age of the any Vedas, any religion. Okay, let's talk about the Gautam Buddha. So 563 BC, a baby born. His name was Siddhartha. Siddhartha. His name was Siddhartha. (563 BC). His name was Siddhartha. His father was Shuddhodhana. Shuddhodhana. His father was Shuddhodhana, and he was from the Shakya clan. He was Kshatriya. Shakya clan, he was Kshatriya. So you can see that Buddha was a prince because his father was king. So Buddha was a prince. He was from the Shakya clan. Mother was Mahamaya. Mahamaya. So after a few days of the birth of Siddhartha, this baby boy, his mother died. Mahamaya died. So primary nourishment of Siddhartha was made by his aunt Gautami. Gautami was his stepmother or the aunt. So Gautami was did the primary socialization, primary nourishment of Siddhartha, because his mother died after a few days of the birth. So he is known as Gautam. Since Gautami adopted him, so therefore he is known as Gautam. So now Siddhartha became Gautam. He born as a prince. After marriage, he had a baby, Rahul. Rahul means a loving bond. A loving bond. Loving bond. So Rahul. Gautam. Loving bond. So after this all family life he lived, he started distancing from the human life. Sad. Anytime Gautam was looking very sad, and those who look Gautam also become sad. Those who look Gautam also become sad. There was some fundamental question coming on his mind. The fundamental question: nobody is happy. You, me, all those who are there, nobody is happy. Why human born again to suffer? What is the root cause of human suffering? This is the two pertinent question that Gautam Buddha had in mind. What I said, that after few years of all the family life that he lived, he suddenly had so many things in the mind. Whatever he see, he feel the sadness. He saw an old man struggling. He saw a sick man crying of pain. He saw the corpse, and he saw an ascetic, sannyasi, loss, a ill man, sick man, and old man. So he saw these four sides, which again disturbed Gautam like anything. So Gautam was so much in the pain because of such visuals. So he had a very genuine question that what is the root cause of human suffering, and why human born again and again to suffer? So two vital questions that Gautam Buddha had. First point, what is root cause of human suffering? What is root cause of human suffering? Second, why human born again to suffer? Right? These two are the very fundamental question that Gautam had. Always thinking on that lines. What is root cause of human suffering, and why human born again to suffer? So he was restless himself to find the most advisable part of this question. Nothing coming out, no solution. No solution. So look at the point. Look at the point. First point. Why human born again to suffer, and what is the root cause of human suffering? First point. Look at the first point very carefully. At the age of 29, Gautam left the house. He was 29 years of age. So he left the house. This is called Mahabhiniskarman. Mahabhiniskarman. So at the age of 29, he left the house. This is called Mahabhiniskarman. At the age of 29. Mahabhiniskarman. At the age of 29. Great renunciation. Great renunciation. Great departure. What is the meaning of Mahabhiniskarman? Great renunciation, great departure. Means he came out of the house to achieve something big, something great. This is what is the thought of Gautam. So great renunciation, great departure. Well, so Mahabhi Niskarman. At the age of 29. At the age of 29. Great renunciation and great departure. So he moved out without informing anyone. Without informing. In secrecy. Came out. He came from the horse and then he left the horse. Wanted to achieve something exceptional. 6 years, my dear, 6 years completely. 6 years Gautam. Now he became 35. He was traveling here and there. There is a place in Bihar called Urubela. Urubela. This is known as Bodh Gaya. There is a place in Bihar called Urubela. This is known as Bodh Gaya. 6 years. Now he became 35. He always there near a peepal tree. Near a peepal tree. He always there near a peepal tree. Gautam used to sit there near a peepal tree. Always there, sitting in this porch on the peepal tree. Every time you can see that Gautam. He moved here and there and then again sit on the same place. Peepal tree. So now he became 35. Urubela, this is Bodh Gaya. Modern name. At this. Suddenly he started laughing. खूब जोर जोर से he started laughing. Gautam. He got Nirvana, supreme knowledge. Nirvana. He got supreme knowledge. We will talk what actually he got. Let me talk. So he got the supreme knowledge, that is Nirvana. Mr. Gautam. Now Gautam became Gautam Buddha. Mr. Gautam, he became Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha. What is meaning of Buddha? Enlightened one. Those who receive the enlightenment. So, enlightened one. What is meaning of Gautam Buddha? Enlightened one. So, those who receive the enlightenment is Mr. Gautam. Enlightened one. At the age of 6. At the age of 35. 6 years he there. Complete penance near the Bodh Gaya. Now Gautam became Gautam Buddha. Those who received the enlightenment is known as Gautam Buddha. Okay, fine. So he gave the first religious discourse, first speech after getting the Nirvan. He gave the first speech, first religious discourse, first religious discourse. First religious discourse. Mr. Gautam gave the first religious discourse. At Sarnath, there is a place in at Sarnath. Give the first religious discourse at Sarnath. This is called Dharma Chakra Parvartan. These are one word. Just for the convenience of writing, I given the gap, but this is one word. Dharma Chakra Parivartan. To understand the meaning, what is this? The Dharma Chakra Parivartan means the turning of wheel of law, means the way that you live the life. Gautam will change after this discussion. Dharma Chakra Parivartan, turning of wheel of law. So the way that you live the life, Gautam will change that. This is called Dharma Chakra Parivartan. So Gautam Buddha said, there are four noble truths. Four noble truths, Arya Satya. Arya Satya. There are four noble truths. Arya Satya. You can understand that how beautifully he transformed the way that the human used to live their life. He said, this whole world is full of sorrow. Whatever you see is full of sorrow. Second, he said, cause of sorrow is desire. Third, he said that if desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. If desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. This whole world is full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. If desires are eliminated, if desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated, and this is possible through Ashtangic marg. Ashtangic marg. So you can write the four noble truth. 1, 2, 3, 4. First noble truth, first point. This whole world is full of sorrow. This whole world is full of sorrow. Full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. Second point. Cause of sorrow is desire. This whole world is full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. Cause of sorrow is desire. This whole world is full of sorrow. cause of sorrow is desire. Third, if desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. Third point, if desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. This is possible through Ashtangic marg. Right? So this whole body is full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. If desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. Right? Vikas is asking, oh sorry, not Vikas. Look, there is a question, in what form Buddhism was present before the rise of Gautam Buddha? Look, the philosophy is always present in the form of the philosophical approach, dimensions like that. Suppose what form of the Brahmanism was present? The methods of the do's and don'ts. This is how the common man has to follow. So therefore the philosophical interpretation in the practical form of the human acceptance, you can say that it was acceptable in the form of do's and don'ts. So there were many Buddha before Gautam Buddha. So there was some state like Bajji Sangh, we will see in the Himalayan foothills. They had always a chances of heterodox sects. Those who favored the republican system, they favored Buddhism and Jainism. Brahminicanism system was for supporting the monarchy. Okay, so this is the reason how the Mal, Bajji, these are the state having the republican system, and Brahminical system always favor the monarchy. So there was some approach to explain about the rise of Buddhism and Jainism in that sense, but in real sense we'll see the Bajji later in the second Buddhist council as well. So it was in the form of philosophy. So first point I said that this whole world is full of sorrow. Second point I said that cause of sorrow is desire. Third point I said that if desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. And fourth point I said that this is possible through Ashtangic marg. 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 Whole world is full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. If desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated, and this is possible through Ashtangic marg. What is Ashtangic marg? The eightfold path suggested by Gautam Buddha. Eightfold path suggested by Gautam Buddha. These are the eightfold path suggested by Gautam Buddha. This whole world is full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. If desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. Right? So eightfold path suggested by Gautam Buddha. Right effort, right livelihood, right conduct, right speech, right resolve, right view, right samadhi, right mindfulness. These are the eightfold path. These are the four Ashtangic marg. Eightfold path suggested by Gautam Buddha. Eightfold path suggested by Gautam Buddha. Right mindfulness. Right mindfulness. Right effort. Okay, fine. So, teaching of Buddhism. He also prescribed Madhyam Marg, that is middle path, the balance between the two extremes. Balance between the two extremes. We will see in Jaina go for the extreme one. If there is a non-violence, then extreme non-violence. But Buddha always make the balance between two extremes. Right? So this for middle path, that is the between the two extremes, a life of balance. Life of balance. So right mindfulness. So this is a teaching of Gautam Buddha. This is called the Dharma Chakra Parivartan. That is the turning of the wheel of law. So whole world is full of sorrow. Cause of sorrow is desire. If desires are conquered, then all sorrow can be eliminated, and this is possible through Ashtangik Marg. And these are the eightfold paths suggested by Gautam. I said that Buddha is Gautam Buddha, he was the real founder of Buddhism. Gautam Buddha is a real founder of Buddhism. He established Buddhist Sangha. Buddhist Sangha, Gautam Buddha. He established Buddhist Sangha. Who are the members of Sangha? Who are the members of the Sangha? Who are the members of the Sangha? Bhikshu. Monks. Who are the members of the Sangha? Bhikshu, monks. And Bhikshu will not live in the family life and the social life. Bhikshu will live separate from the family life, social life. Bhikshu will live in Bihar. Lived in Bihar. What is Bihar? It is a residential place of the monks. Residential place of the monks. Bhikshu. So when Buddha gave the first, you are asking the fourth truth, fine. I told you, there are four noble truths. Char Arya Satya hai. First is, this whole world is full of sorrow. Second is, the cause of sorrow is desire. Third is, if desires are conquered, all sorrow can be eliminated. And fourth, I told you, it is possible through Ashtangik Marg. Fourth is, how you will overcome the desire. It is possible through Ashtangik Marg. Ashtangik Marg means eightfold path suggested by Gautam. Ashtangik Marg. I should write again, I think. Ashtangik Marg. This is fourth truth. Ashtangik Marg. What are the truth? These are the 8 truths. What is 8 Ashtangik Marg? Right Samadhi, that is what? Meditation. So 8-fold path suggested by Gautam Buddha, 8 principles. Right mindfulness, right effort, right livelihood, right conduct, right speech, right resolve, right view, right Samadhi. If you don't trust, then please count it. Say 3, 3, 6 plus 2, 8. Right? Buddha adopted the middle path. Buddha adopted the middle path. Madhyam Marga. That is the life between the 2 extremes, a life of balance. A life of balance. So this is what 4th noble truth is. Okay, so Gautam Buddha, he constituted the Sangha. Sangha means organization. And who are the members of the Sangha? Bhikshu, monks. Monks will live in the Sangha. Monks will live in the Sangha. Lived in Bihar. So residential place of monks. And common follower, you can live your life, you can do work, you can take the classes, you can become an IS, whatever you have, your common life, you do become agriculturists, traders. Common men, they were called Upashak. Upashak. Upashak in the family and social life, and the monks away from Bhikshu, away from the family life. So he established the Sangha. There are 3 jewels of Buddhism, 3 Ratna. There are 3 jewels of Buddhism. Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Three jewels. 3 Ratna. This is called 3 Ratna of Buddhism. 3 jewels of Buddhism. 3 Ratna of Buddhism. So now, who are eligible to become monk? Everybody will come and, okay sir, I want to become monk, then nobody can become monks, or everybody will become monk. There is a privilege. There is qualification, disqualification to become the monk. So, who can become the monk? The eligibility to become the monks. Who are the monks? एडल्ट पर्सन, थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाना चाहिए, एडल्ट. Tonsuring the head, tonsure. No hair. Hair is a symbol of materialistic. You give so many touch to the hairs and spikes and others. So no hair. Wearing the yellow cloth. Wearing the yellow cloth. Now you are well dressed up. And then approaching Buddha After dress up, you say, Sir, I have faith in Triratna. Triratna. Buddha will have a smile, you will have a smile. Buddha will hand over a stick in your hand, Salaka. Stick. So once you hand over the stick, Salaka, you become monk. So there is a very simple process, no elaborate rituals required. So now you became right? Now you became, this is what. So now you became monk. So faith in Triratna and the Salaka. Okay, so faith in the Triratna, you said. Once you said that, sir, I have faith in Triratna, in the Salaka, then you can see that you become a monk. There are disqualifications also. Disqualifications like you must not suffer from communicable disease. You must not suffer from communicable disease. You must not suffer from communicable disease. Otherwise, all the monks will die. Suppose you have a corona, then everybody will die there. So you must not suffer from communicable disease. And secondly, must not be defaulter. Vijay Malaya, Nirav Modi, these defaulters cannot become Buddhist monk. Matlab means you are not in debtor of the king. You are not in debtor of the king. You are not in debtor of the king. So defaulter, you must not be defaulter. Must not be defaulter. Must not be defaulter. So thereafter you became monk. So the ceremony to become monk is called Upavastha. Ceremony to become monk was called Upavastha. Ceremony to become monk was Upavastha. This question is very much expected, come many times in the prelims examination. So Upavastha is what? The ceremony to become monk. Ceremony to become monk. Is it all right, you people? Hopefully you understand. So is it okay? Ceremony to make a monk. So all the monks will stay in Bihar. There is a residential place of the monk. All the monks will stay in Bihar. So in entire whole year, only 1 month, the monks will come out from the Bihar to go to the nearby villages. Four, five group of the monks. So monks will come out from the Bihar, will go to the nearby villages. They formed Basha. Temporary house. Temporary house. Basha. In nearby village, they formed Basha. And they preach Buddhism like Katha system. They preach Buddhism like Katha system. They go to the nearby village. They had a Basha. They preach Buddhism like Katha system. After completion of the work, they return back to Basha. After completion of acts, all return back to Basha. So when the counting done that everybody reached, thereafter a ceremony was organized. When all the Buddhist monks had permission to speak. If any crime they had committed, any sin they had committed there, so they had to accept it. So there is a ceremony of acceptance of guilt. Ceremony of acceptance of guilt called Upostha or Pavarna. Upostha or Pavarna. So this is Upostha or Pavarna is that acceptance of guilt. If any monk had committed any mistake, will confess it. And you understand that in Buddhism, confession is forgiveness. Confession is forgiveness. Confession is forgiveness. If you confess it, then Buddha will forgive it. Buddha will forgive it. So confession is forgiveness. So this is how the Buddhism had progressed. These are the things related to the Buddhism. Okay, fine. Some other ideas of Buddha. Look at some bright ideas that Buddha believed. Buddha believed in transmigration of soul. Okay, so let me talk about in a blank PPT about the God and the Buddha. Regarding God, Buddha said agnostic. Buddha is agnostic. Agnostic. That is, neither believe in God, neither reject God, neither reject nor accept, neither reject nor accept. So he is agnostic. Agnostic. So regarding God, Buddha said, I am agnostic, neither accept God nor reject God. But Buddha said, if God is there, Buddha said, if God is there, then God is also bound by Buddha said that if God is there, then God is also bound by eternal law of karma. Eternal law of karma. So the principle of karma is universal. What is central essence of Buddhism? Principle of karma. Okay, so I hope you understand what is meaning of agnostic. Agnosticism means neither accept God nor reject God. But if God is there, then God is also bound by eternal law of karma. So theory of karma is central essence of Buddhism. Theory of karma is central essence of Buddhism. So if God is there, then God is also bound by eternal law of karma. So theory of karma is central essence of Buddhism. Buddha maximum times stayed in Sravasti. Sravasti this is capital of Koshal Mahajanpad. I told you that 16 Mahajanpadas are there. Out of 16 Mahajanpad, there is a one Koshal. So Sravasti. So Sravasti, maximum times he stayed at Sravasti, and therefore maximum speech he delivered at Sravasti. And then Buddha died in 483 BC. So Buddha died in 483 BC. There is a place in UP, Kushinagar. This is called Mahaparinirvan. Mahaparinirvana. So when Buddha was about to die, his disciple Anand was sitting before Gautam Buddha. So Anand was sitting before Gautam Buddha when Buddha was about to die. Anand was sitting before Gautam Buddha when Buddha was about to die. Anand received the last sermon. Anand received the last sermon. What Buddha said, a brilliant quotation. Brilliant quotation. Buddha said, nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. All composite things decay. Nothing is permanent. All composite things decay, nothing is permanent. Strive out diligently to attain the nirvana. All composite things decay, nothing is permanent. Strive out diligently to attain the nirvana. Strive out diligently to attain the nirvana. All composite things decay, strive out diligently to attain the nirvana. $1 million statement. You don't need to bother about anything, because whatever you'll see, nothing is permanent. All will vanish. When therefore, don't look towards them, and then strive out diligently to attain the nirvana. This is a fundamental thing you have to understand. Is it all right now? Hopefully, you understood the entire format of Buddhism. So now I need to talk about the Buddhist council. After death of Buddha, there are 4 Buddhist council. There are 4 Buddhist council. So after death of Gautam Buddha, 4 councils was organized at regular interval. 4 councils to resolve the several issues regarding the teachings of Gautam Buddha, regarding the code of conduct that Buddhist monk had to follow. So, after death of Gautam Buddha, four Buddhist council was organized. The purpose was to organize the teaching of Gautam Buddha, code of conduct within the sanghas, means how monks should live, how the women monks should live. These are all to be finalized. So first Buddhist council, it was organized in Rajgiri. Rajgiri, it is in Bihar. It was capital of Magadh. Capital of Magadh. Rajgiri. That time the ruler of Magadh was Ajasatru. Ruler of Magadh was Ajasatru. And president of this council was Mahakashyap. Mahakashyap. So the ruler who organized, who financed, who patronized Ajasatru, the king of Magadh. And it was presided by Mahakashyap. 2 books was composed in this council, Sutta Pitaka, compiled by Ananda. Right, so in this council, two books was composed. In first council, two books was composed. 483 BC, first council. One was composed by Anand. Anand composed Sutta Pitak. Sutta means hymns, what Buddha narrated, what Buddha said, the teaching of Gautam Buddha. And Pitak means basket. You know, that time the leaves was used to write, and then you'd write in the leaves and then put in the basket. So it's called Pitak. So like today you say, I have written one register. That time they were saying, I have written one basket. So therefore, they write on the leaves and thereafter putting in the basket. Sutta Pitak. Sutta Pitak. Ananda. Anand. Teaching of Gautam Buddha. Teaching of Gautam Buddha. Sutta Pitak. Sutta Pitak. This is a voluminous book, Sutta Pitak, compiled by Anand. There are many volumes in the Sutta Pitak. So, there are many Nikaya in the Sutta Pitak. First is like Anguttara Nikaya. You must remember these facts. Anguttara Nikaya. What is the importance of Anguttara Nikaya? That it gave description of the 16 Mahajanpad. What was the political condition of India? 16 Mahajanpad. Second, Khudak Nikaya, it gave the Jatak. Jatak. Story of Jatak came from Khudak Nikaya. Khudak Nikaya. And third is story of Anguttara Nikaya, Digha Nikaya. Digha Nikaya, we have Dharma Chakra Parivartan Sukta and Mahaparinirvan Sukta. Sukta. So Dharma Chakra Parivartan Sukta and Mahaparinirvan Sukta. Both the two top class hymns was presented by Gautam Buddha. So it was compiled in Digha Nikaya. Must remember these three facts. The Sutta Pitaka is divided in three parts. Anguttara Nikaya, Khudak Nikaya, Digha Nikaya. There are many parts, but these three are the important parts. And then teaching of Gautam Buddha was presented. Teaching of Gautam Buddha is presented. Second book was composed, first book was by Anand, second book was composed by Upali. Upali, he composed Vinaya Pitak. Vinaya Pitak. Code of conduct. Code of conduct. code of conduct. Upali. Monastic code of conduct. How the monks should behave, how the nuns should behave, that is there in the conduct code of the Upali. Second Buddhist Council. Second Buddhist Council. It was held in Vaishali. 100 years later, 383 BC, Vaishali. 100 years later. It was presided by Sabakami. He was the president of that council and patronized by the great king Kalashok, the greatest king of Shishunag dynasty. And Mahasangika. The Buddhism got divided in two sects. The Mahasangika favored change, liberals. This is Mahasangika. And Sthabirvadins, that is Theravada. So Theravadins were advocated no change and were believers of the elders, the conservative one. Okay, Mahasangika. So what I said, look at the position of the Buddhist in the second council. In second Buddhist council, Buddhism got divided in two parts. Mahasangika Mahasangika and Asthabirvadins. Mahasangika and Asthabirvadins. Mahasangika is liberals, means accepted the change. And Asthabirvadins, he was orthodox. This was orthodox. So liberals and orthodox believed in the changes and does not. Actually, in the monks of the Bajji Sangh is Himalayan foothills. In Himalayan foothills, we can see that there are many monks who had some changed dimension of their practices. They started behaving something very different. They started worship. So therefore they were called Mahasangika. Bajji Sangh is what? Bajji Sangh is that monks of the Bajji Sangh, that is the monk of the Himalayan foothills. Himalayan foothills. This is called Bajji Sangh. Himalayan portals. Monks of the Baji Sangh. They started behaving something very different, and they became Mahasangika, and rest others became Asthabirwadin or Therwad. This was a question in the prelims last year. Which sect actually originally it belongs? Okay, so Mahasangika or Therwad. So Mahasangika believed in the changed format. Believed in the changed format. Is it okay? All of you, did you understand about the second Buddhist council? First division in Buddhism had taken place during the second Buddhist council. Let's come to the third Buddhist council, Patliputra. Patliputra. It was held in 250 BC. Patliputra was the capital when the great Ashoka was ruling over the state under the patronage of Ashoka. Ashoka already converted to Buddhism, and therefore he decided to convene the third Buddhist council. It was presided by Mogliputra Tisha. Upgupta, he was a prince of Ceylon, Sri Lanka. So, it was presided by Mogliputra Tisha. The prince of Ceylon, and it was presided by the Mogliputra, and it was patronized by Ashoka, the greatest of the Mauryan king. Mogliputra, he composed another book, Abhidhamma Pitak. So we have seen two Pitaks, Sutta Pitak, Vinaya Pitak. Now we are looking into the Abhidhamma Pitak. This is the third Pitak that dealt with the Buddhist philosophy. So these all are in the Pali language. All are in the Pali language. What is the language of the Buddhist scripture is Pali. Pali. Pali language. The Pitaks are the scriptures. Pitaks are the scriptures. So three Pitak, Sutta Pitak, Vinaya Pitak and Abhidhamma Pitak in the third Buddhist council. Fourth Buddhist council, first century AD. Fourth Buddhist council, first century AD. So fourth Buddhist council, it was convened when the Kanishk was ruling the state. Kanishk was ruling the state. Great Indo-Greek ruler Kanishk. Indo-Greek. Kanishk was ruling the state. Kundalban, Bihar, Kashmir. Kuldan. Kundalban, Bihar, Kashmir. It was organized at this place. It is also known as Deer Park. So Kundanban, Bihar, Kashmir. This is also known as Deer Park. President of this council was Bashumitra, and vice president was Ashok Ghosh. Bashumitra and Ashok Ghosh. Bashumitra and Ashok Ghosh. Ashok Ghosh. Bashumitra and Ashok Ghosh. In this council, there is a formal division of Buddhism in two parts, Hinayan and Mahayana. Mahayana. Formal division of Buddhism in two parts, Hinayan and Mahayana. Hinayan, orthodox. Mahayana, unorthodox. Hinayan believed in individual salvation. You have to do your own if you want to achieve the salvation, individual salvation. Mahayana believed in salvation for all. Salvation for all. Individual salvation and salvation for all. Hinayanists, they worship stupa. Stupa. Here, they worship the idol. Idol of Gautam Buddha. Buddha was first human to be worshipped. Buddha was first human to be worshipped. Buddha was first human to be worshipped. Hinayanists are quite popular in Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia. Mahayanist, Korea, Japan, China, Tibet. There is a development of Mahayana formula. So, Hunyanist and Mahayanist, orthodox and unorthodox. So, Hinayan and Mahayana, So these are the points related to the Buddhism, and thereafter we will move to the Jainism. Look at the Buddha and Jaina. Jaina also had an old religion parallel to Buddhism. I hope you remember, I told you that when there was a Harappan, there is a statue found in Harappa which looked like a statue of Jaina. And the first Tirthankar of Jaina, Rishabdev, his name is there in the Rig Veda also. So can you imagine that how old Jaina religion is? But in 600 BC, as there was a good support to the Buddhism, for the same reason, same thought, there was a good support to the Jainism also. So Mahavir, he was the 24th Tirthankar. So obviously there were many Tirthankars before Mahavir. So obviously Mahavira is not founder, but at least he is a real founder of Jainism. So I told you 600 BC is the period of the rise of heterodox sects. So here in the context of Jainism, we can see 540 BC Mahavira born. Mahavira born in 540 BC. Born in 540 BC. There is a place in Bihar, Vaishali, where he born. There is a place in Bihar, Vaishali. We'll compare then Buddha and Jaina, and then I will show how the Buddhism declined. So we'll compare all the things with that Buddha, then we'll study Jaina, and thereafter we will go for decline of Buddhism and other parts like this. So Jainism emerged during the Rig Vedic times, starting with Tirthankar. The name of the first Tirthankar, Rishabh, his name is mentioned in the Rig Veda. Rishabh, his name is mentioned in the Rig Veda. And since then there are 24 Tirthankar, and 24th is Mahavir, the last one. So 23rd Tirthankar is Parshvanath. Just before Mahavir, he was Prince of Kashi. So Mahavir also inherited something from Parshvanath. It was Parshvanath who gave the 4 principles of Jainism. That is 23rd Tirthankar. Ahimsa, Satya. Ahimsa means truth. Ahimsa means non-violence. Satya means truth. Aparigraha. Aparigraha is non-accumulation of wealth. Non-accumulation of wealth. Ahimsa, Satya. Aparigraha. Non-accumulation of wealth. And Aste means non-stealing. So humans should form these 4 principles in the life. Ahimsa. So Jaina is as old as the Rig Veda. So I told you that no power on earth can determine the age of any religion. So Jaina is also as old as Rig Veda. The first Jaina Tirthankar, Rishabh, his name is mentioned in the Rig Veda. So since from there is a Tirthankar messenger keep on coming. 24th is Mahavir, 23rd is Parshvanath. So among the series of the Tirthankaras, 21st is Rishabh. Second is Aristonemi. 23rd is Parshvanath. And 24th is Mahabir. So name Rishabh is mentioned in the Rig Veda. Name Rishabh is mentioned in the Rig Veda. Aristonemi, he was a very good friend of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna. Oh, that's a very good friendship, scooty type friendship, the evening scooty. Aristonemi. And then Parshvanath. So before Parshvanath, these 22 Tirthankars, we don't know so much. But we definitely know about the Parshvanath, and he gave the 4 principles. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya and Aparigraha. He gave the 4 principles. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya and Aparigraha. Ahimsa means non-violence, Satya means truth, and then Mahabira, he added only Brahmacharya. He added the 5th one, that is Brahmacharya. Mahabira added the 5th one, that is Brahmacharya. Celibacy. So Mahabir added only the 5th one, that is Mahabira. He is the person who added Brahmacharya. Lastly, 5th one is Brahmacharya, added by Mahabir. Added by Mahabir. Added by Muhammad. So he added the 5th one, that is Brahmacharya, and it was added by So we will continue with the Jaina and the ideology of Jainism, how Mahabira became Tirthankar, what is that name, what was his philosophy. So tomorrow we will go with the philosophy of Jainism. Okay, so that's all for the day. If you have any problem, just keep me texting, then I will look at that. Thank you so much.